One of the top pollsters in the nation is already giving Trump a huge win. In fact, he says as things stand, you can stick a fork in these primaries. They are effectively over. We're going to see the latest amazing news coming Trump's way. And we're going to also see the impact these court cases and gag orders are having on the election. Let's just say it's not what the Democrats were hoping for. You're not going to want to miss this. Greetings, everyone. It is I, Dr. Steve, your Patriot professor, here to help you to think better so you can feel better in these crazy and turbulent times. If you haven't already done so, you know what to do. Make sure to smack that bell and subscribe button. The McLaughlin Polling Group, one of the most respected polling firms out there, is already giving number 45 a huge win. According to the latest polling, Trump is, he's opened up his largest lead yet over the dwindling pack of wannabes in the GOP. Nearly 60% of Republican primary voters are voting Trump. That represents a 47% lead over his nearest rivals, Ron DeSantis and Nikki Haley, who are both tied at 8%, single-digit midgets. That's Trump's competition at this point. They're both consistently polling at 8. He is at 55. We have never seen primary dominance like this. And by the way, just so you know, if everyone else drops out and consolidates behind either DeSantis or Haley against Trump, Trump's lead only grows. He actually leads his single opponent by over 50 points. So McLaughlin's arguing this primary is over before it even started. Trump is going to win every single primary state in a total blowout. This thing is done. Put a fork in it. And McLaughlin isn't the only one reading the writing on the wall here. We talked yesterday about the Florida Republican Assembly calling for their own governor, Ron DeSantis, to bow out and officially endorse President Trump. That's right. The Republican Assembly of Florida, Ron DeSantis' own state, is calling on him to call it quits and endorse Trump. And the National Republican Senatorial Committee Chairman Steve Daines is also calling on everyone else to drop out of the primary race and endorse Trump. He, along with a number of others in the Republican rank and file, they are all openly admitting there is no stopping the Trump train. He's crushing his opponents by 50 points. Republican voters clearly and overwhelmingly want him as their 2024 nominee, and these other single-digit midgets need to consolidate behind Trump and together push back against this weaponized legalism that is relentless in its blatantly partisan persecution. You may have seen the latest gag order imposed on Trump by this far-left nut of a Judge Chutkan, and you've got another woke activist judge in Colorado that's actively attempting to get Trump taken off the ballot there because of this utterly ridiculous 14th Amendment nonsense that's desperately being made by ultra-woke jurists. There's no way it's going to stand. There's no way it's going to pass judicial review, this 14th Amendment nonsense. It's all an attempt at weaponizing the law to try to stop what's appearing to be more and more inevitable. But that does raise the question. While it is inevitable that Trump will win the GOP nomination, how much of an impact will all this continual and blatant election interference in the forms of numerous indictments, court cases, gag orders have on the general election? Well, that's exactly what we're going to answer. But first, gang, every one of you needs to click on that link below and stick it to the establishment by using their own corruption against them. And you know exactly what I'm talking about here. Companies like BlackRock, they've been bribing corrupt politicians like Nancy Impeachment Pelosi with insider trading secrets for decades now. They know a whole host of trading secrets that gives them an unfair advantage when picking stocks. But did you know that thanks to a little-known SEC database, well, guess what? We can have access to those very secrets as well. We get to see what stocks these corporate CEOs are buying up in real time and then piggyback on their trades to gain the same advantage for ourselves that Pelosi and the crooks in D.C. have. My friend Ross Givens has been tracking insider trading for years now, and his recommendations have led to investment returns of over 200%. Some have hit as high as nearly 1,500%, and now it's your turn. Click on that link below right now and learn how you too can learn to trade like Pelosi. Click on that link below and learn how to gain an insider advantage for yourself today. I think we have to keep these court cases and gag orders in perspective. We were just talking about this last night on our Insiders Club live Q&A. Remember, make sure to join our Insiders Club. We talk every Monday night live together. It's really awesome. But as frustrating as these court cases are, as pathetic and vile as these corrupt DAs and Jack Smith are in their weaponized lawfare, we've got to remember, all of this weaponized legalism is only making Trump stronger. Even the legacy media is admitting that. Trump is in a better position today to win 2024 than he ever was in 2016, 2020. And ironically, we owe that in part to this weaponized legalism, especially the mugshot, because it appears to have endeared him to a record number of non-white voters. The Washington Post recently came out and admitted that Trump is seeing levels of minority support no Republican has reached in a half a century. And they found that across 5 high-quality polls in the past month, Trump is averaging an astonishing 20% support among black voters and unprecedented 42% support among Latino voters. So just to make sure you understand what's going on, they cross-referenced a number of different polls from different outlets, different agencies, using different methodologies, different weighting systems and the like. And yet, all 5 of those polls corroborated. They all corroborated the fact that Trump has amassed support among voters, minority voters, that no Republican has seen in half a century. And again, it's largely due to the backlash against this weaponized legalism. That mugshot, that glorious, magnificent mugshot is the GOAT. It is the greatest of all time because it made Trump officially a gangster. He's now one of us. Voters who have consistently voted Democrat are now voting Trump almost solely based on the fact that that image made him one of them. So if you ask people, for example, how many New York billionaires do you know? Or how many former presidents do you know? Of course, the answer is 0. But if you ask them, how many people do you know who've gotten arrested, who've had mugshots taken? Well, that's different. They may know several at some point in their lives, right, who got arrested. In other words, and I owe this observation to Robert Barnes, I think it's brilliant, that mugshot transferred Trump from one cultural space, the New York billionaire former president, to another cultural space, someone legally persecuted by an unfair and unjust system. And that transference has endeared Trump to voters that would have never given him the time of day prior to it. And so we have to keep in mind that what these Democrats are trying to do is actually working in Trump's favor. The more they persecute, the more popular he gets. The more they persecute, the more popular he gets. So Trump's got this. He's effectively already won the nomination before the primaries have even begun, before the very first vote cast, with more and more of these single-digit midgets dropping out like Mike Pence. And it's increasingly likely that he's going to blow Biden out of the water in an electoral landslide. All the while Democrats, like Wile E. Coyote, blow themselves up in their pathetic and ridiculous schemes. Hey gang, I know what it's like to feel alone out there in these turbulent times, but I broke free. If you too have been looking for a community with like-minded patriots who are serious about resisting globalism, building a parallel economy, and having intelligent and deep fellowship on a regular basis, then you've come to the right place. In my Courageous Patriot Insiders community, we're building a close-knit movement of, by, and for patriots who are breaking free from the outrage and despair cycles of the mainstream media and taking on the fight against globalism. Every week, I deep dive into the content I can't share on big tech and give you the cliff notes on the truth of how patriots just like you are building up their communities, starting patriot businesses, and fighting the woke in both public and private. All with a few history and political lessons from yours truly, of course. If you want to stop feeling alone as a patriot and stand together with this fast-growing community, be sure to click on the link in the description below. Don't wait. Join me and my Patriot Coalition today, and let's get fighting.